Hey everybody, I'm Steve at the Carmichael Workshop. It's time for another Sidebar Shop Update. Well, my last shop update was 8 months ago, and the one before that was 8 months before that one. So at this rate, I'm doing these shop updates every 8 months. I'm going to try to start doing these more regularly so I can talk about what's going on in the community, talk about some more details about the projects that I've made, and that sort of thing. So let's get started. In my last project video, I made some shop vac attachments using my 3D printer. It's the first time I had used Fusion 360 to design something and then print it out, and they worked great. I ran out one in the video, and then after the video, it's really easy to just print out another one. I've got one over here on my dust collector for the CNC machine, and then I've got one connected to my bandsaw. If you want to see that video, I'll put up a link up here so you can see it. One of my other recent projects was making these racks for storing our vinyl records, and those are working out great. They hold all that weight just fine, and it's really cool to be able to flip through my albums like I used to in the record store. It's kind of nostalgic, I guess. But it's really neat to have those accessible, and we can pull those out and play them on the record player whenever we want, which really isn't that often. I built this workbench that's a little bit bigger than the one I had in this location, and I've got a video on that. I've got plans for it over on my Etsy store. I'll put a link up for that. But it's really cool because I can store a couple of these shop vacs for the tools that live over in this area to make dust collection a little easier. Also gives me a place to store some of these Harbor Freight hardware bins, and I like having the extra work surface to pile junk on. I finally got a new drill press to replace that old small 1980s one that I had that started to fall apart. The old one worked fine for a long time. It wouldn't drill through a pin blank though, so this one has a little bit more travel, which is cool. And it's a Win 10-inch benchtop drill press. I got it off Amazon. It was $120 on sale with free shipping, so I couldn't pass that up. It's also got the laser crosshairs that you can turn on, and also a work light underneath, which is a really nice feature. So I'm going to be glad to have this. It did have an obnoxious Win orange logo up here, so I'll put my sticker over that. But I think I might paint some of the orange stuff, either black or maybe Van Halen stripes. Yeah. This is the side of the shop that I try to hide in all my videos because it's so cluttered and it's always a mess. But I think my next project video is going to be building a cart for my planer that will also hold the dust right separator and my shop vac underneath it. So it's all on one cart, and I can just move it around or move it outside whenever I want to plane some wood. And I think it'll fit better over in this area, and I'll make it look a little better. This has always been like the black hole of the shop where everything just gets dumped. I've been working on a couple of classes for our local Gwinnett Woodworkers Association. I already did one a few weeks ago on using the CNC machine. A friend of mine, Rob, who has the one I donated to the club, he took that into the Peachtree Woodworking store in their classroom. So I got to show people how to design something in the Inventables easel software and then send it to the X-Carve and actually make a project. I real quickly in class in the last 20 minutes or so designed like this phone speaker stand that will also hold some business cards or stickers. I'll throw up a picture of it, but it was a real simple project, and it gave everybody a good idea of, you know, how simple it is to design something and then send it to the CNC machine. So the club has my older X-Carve, so I'm hoping after doing that class that some of those guys will try it out. That would be really cool. For the past couple of years, I've been doing the October Scroll Saw meeting for our club, and coming up this October, I think it's October 1st, the first Monday of the month, I'm going to be doing a class on making old-timey radios and how to turn them into Bluetooth speakers. It's pretty simple. You just order the parts you need for the Bluetooth speaker, wire them up, and then mount them inside the radio. I'm also going to design some different radio styles that you can cut with a scroll saw. So that should be a fun class, and I'm also going to do a video on that, so watch out for that. Back in July, Inventables had an easel power hour contest where they asked people to go to easel.com, create a free account, design a project that could be carved in an hour, and submit their entry. There were a lot of great entries, and I want to thank Inventables for inviting me to be a judge. And congrats to all the winners. They gave away an X-Carve and about 10 gift certificates toward their website. So that was really cool. So thanks, Inventables. And I'll put a link down below where you can see all the entries. Look through those, and there were a lot of cool ones. I think I'm going to carve some of them out. I started making these little guitar trays in all different shapes and selling them over on my Etsy store. I'll put a link down below. But now I'm experimenting with using food colors from the grocery store to stain these in like burst finishes and stuff. And I already did one for a friend of mine who has kind of an amber burst Paul Reed Smith guitar, and it turned out pretty cool. So I'm about to try staining this one kind of a blue turquoise kind of color. So that should look pretty neat. So if you're interested in getting one of these trays that are good for guitar picks or coins or keys or whatever, just head over to my Etsy store. I've been looking for a small, inexpensive webcam or IP cam that I could use to point at the CNC machine or 3D printer so I can watch them from my phone while I'm inside the house in the air conditioning. And I ran across these little Wyze security cameras. They're WYZE. They're not a sponsor or anything, but you can check them out at wyze.com. They also sell them on Amazon. But they're about $30 if you get the little micro SD card to put in the back. And they will record continuous video, and it'll overwrite the older video as it records new video. You can also set them up to detect motion or sound and send you a 15-second clip notification on your phone, which is cool. They're interior only at the moment. I don't think they can withstand the elements, but I've seen people make some neat cases for them to put outside. But you do have to run the cable to a power outlet to power them. But they work over Wi-Fi. They're really easy to set up, and it's really cool to be able to just point it anywhere, and you can watch from your phone. You can watch the live feed, or you could just wait until it detects motion or something and watch the 15-second clip that it sends you. So these are really cool. I have it over here so I can watch the shop while I'm away. And also, if I'm doing something on the CNC or 3D printer, I can just move it and point it at those so I can watch those. So it's pretty cool. Oh, I'm thinking about putting some outside anyway and just building some kind of little birdhouse looking enclosure for them and hanging them from like the overhang of the roof. I thought that would be pretty cool, and I might do a video on that. A couple of years ago, I noticed I started having trouble hearing people in meetings at work, and I had to turn the TV up louder than I used to. I kept having to ask people to repeat themselves, and I couldn't hear little things, like when you turn on the blinker in the car, I couldn't hear the little clicking noise. So last year I went and had a hearing test, and they did say that I had some moderate hearing loss in a certain frequency range that could be due to about 40 years of playing drums and bands and woodworking. So I want to encourage you all out there to use hearing protection if you don't already. And I talked to Eric at the ISOtunes booth at Workbench Con this year, and he was nice enough to send me a couple samples of their ISOtunes earbuds, and they work great, especially for hearing protection, canceling out the machinery noise. He sent me a couple of different versions. One is just the regular earbud style. Right now I've got these small attachments on there just for regular listening. But they come with the foam ones for hearing protection. But I like these because they're just like regular earbuds. And he also sent me the ISOtunes Pro, which I use out here in the shop and also inside sometimes. But I also use these for drumming because you can play drums along to your favorite tunes, which is really cool. So I want to thank Eric at ISOtunes for sending me these samples. I really like them, and I've been using them a lot here in the shop and also when practicing drums and just for regular listening. So if you need hearing protection, just check out ISOtunes. About a month and a half ago, I started eating differently, trying to eat more healthy, trying to eat less food, and exercising in order to get into some kind of better shape other than round. And it's working so far. I've lost about 16 pounds, which is great, and I'm feeling better already. So I'm not sure how much I'll talk about that on the channel here. I might just include a little update in the sidebar conversations that I hope to do more regularly. But it's working out great. I think if I mention it in the videos like this regularly, it'll keep me motivated and held accountable. So I'll keep doing it and stay on top of it. So hopefully in future videos, you'll start seeing a thinner Steve. I want to thank Jeff over at hockeystickheaven.com, where he makes and sells some really cool stuff out of hockey sticks. He sent me this bottle opener that he made from a hockey stick, and he also sent me a hammer, which is really cool. So if you're into hockey and hockey sticks and that sort of thing, check out hockeystickheaven.com for some really cool stuff. All right, that's it for now. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already so that you can catch all of my future project videos. Also, if you missed my last video or you just want to watch it again, you can click up there and click down there if you want to see the video that the internet thinks you should watch next. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.